Alright, so welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to continue from where we stopped in the last video. In our last video we talked about plant nutrition, and today we're going to continue with animal nutrition. So everything you need to know about animal nutrition that JAMB and WAEC requires. Alright, I'm actually shooting this video in the night, so I locked my screen because ant is disturbing. Insect is coming to press, so I'll be controlling it from my laptop. Alright, so animal nutrition, let's start from there. Now, anytime you hear animal nutrition, we are looking at the study of how animals obtain, digest, absorb and utilize food substances for growth, energy, repair, reproduction and survival. So we're just looking at how animals feed, how they use the nutrients in their body. That is animal nutrition. So animals cannot manufacture their food. We know that. It's only plants that can manufacture their food. And since animals cannot manufacture their food, they are called heterotrophs. They are called heterotrophs because they cannot manufacture their food. Unlike plants that can manufacture their food, plants are called autotrophs because they can manufacture their food, while animals are called heterotrophs because we cannot manufacture our food. Now, reasons why animals feed. Why do they even feed? One of the reasons is to obtain energy for movement and metabolic activities. Just imagine you've not eaten. You cannot move, you cannot walk because there's no energy. So one reason why we eat is to obtain energy. Another one is for growth and cell division. Another one is for repair of worn out tissues. Another one to regulate body processes and for reproduction. All right, moving on to classes of food nutrients. This one is an exam concentrated area. Meanwhile, past question is at the end of this. So there is past question at the end of this this topic. Now, classes of food. Number one, carbohydrates, the function and the examples. So it provides energy. So basically, energy production is the main function of carbohydrates. Examples: yam, cassava, rice, maize. Proteins, growth, repair, and making of enzymes and hormones. That's the major functions of proteins. And examples of the sources: meat, egg, fish, milk, beans. All these ones you did them in secondary school. Then fats and oil. We're moving somewhere. Fats and oil, their energy reserve, and they serve as insulation. Now, there's one question they always ask here, that 100 grams of butter and 100 grams of carbohydrates, which one provides more energy? One thing you should note is that fat and oil, that's lipids, provides more energy than carbohydrates. Fat and oil provides more energy than carbohydrates. All right. Example: butter, granules, palm oil. The next one is vitamins. The function of they serve to regulate body processes and prevent diseases. Examples of things you can get vitamin from: fruits, vegetables. Then mineral salts. They build strong bones, blood, teeth, and osmoregulation. When we say minerals, there are many. You have your calcium, you have magnesium, you have the rest. All right. Example is here. That is the disadvantage of shooting video in the night because the screen is too sensitive. Once ants lands on it, it will start to control it. So please bear with me today. All right, moving on. Water. We also have water, and water is the medium for transport, digestion, and metabolic reactions. Roughages help bowel movement and prevents constipation. Constipation is that inability to pass out your feces because of that. In Nigerian English, call it strong shit. All right, so example of something you can get roughages from. You have your vegetables and your cereals. All right, moving on. Types of feeding or feeding habits. Now, the first one here is the herbivores. Herbivores, they feed mainly on what? On plants. They feed mainly on plants. Examples are cows, goats, rabbits. They feed mainly on cows. I know those ones that feed mainly on cows, like, they feed mainly on grasses, on plants. These ones that feed mainly on grasses that are called herbivores. You agree with me that they have 4 compartment stomach, 4 chambered stomachs. We are going to look at that. Now, carnivores, they feed on flesh. For example, lion and eagle. Omnivores, they feed on both plants and animals. Feed on both plants and animals. For example, humans and pigs. Saprophytes, anytime you hear saprophytes, they feed on dead decaying organic matter. For example, fungi like mushroom. You will not see a mushroom growing on a tree that is still alive. Mushroom is always growing on dead decaying matter because what they do is extracellular digestion. They release the enzymes into that dead decaying tree and they absorb nutrients in return. That's what they do. Then next one is parasites. Parasites, they live on the host, feed from the host, and harm the host in the process. So they live on, they feed on, and they harm the host. So they are benefiting from the host, and the host is harmed. Example, tapeworm, liver fluke. So holozoic mode of nutrition, they feed on complex solid food like animals. Most human beings, most animals, including human beings, fall under holozoic mode of nutrition. All right, now modes of nutrition. There are autotrophic, there is autotrophic and heterotrophic. Autotrophic is mainly green plants because they can produce their food. Human being like you don't fall here. But as an animal, this is where you fall, heterotrophic, because you depend on others for food. Now, animals use holozoic nutrition, which involve ingestion. Ingestion means putting the food into your mouth. That's ingestion now. Then digestion. The food in your mouth now is broken down. It's broken down. So take for example, this is your mouth. Then from your mouth, let's look at the diagram. Let's assume this is your intestine. So from your mouth here, the food moves through your gullet or esophagus. From your gullet or esophagus to your stomach. From your stomach now to your small intestine. And digestion ends in the small intestine. So digestion starts from the mouth and ends in the small intestine. When digestion ends in the small intestine, the nutrient is absorbed into the bloodstream. Now, digestion is breakdown of this complex food substance into simple and absorbable form. Simple and absorbable form. Then after the digestion have ended in the small intestine, the nutrients will be absorbed into the bloodstream. That's absorption. Then assimilation. Now the nutrients in your bloodstream now is now converted to different forms depending on the body's need. Like glucose now excess can be transported to the liver and be stored as glycogen, or the glucose can be broken down to release energy as assimilation. Then digestion now, there are undigested food. Those food that are not digested in the small intestine moves into the large intestine and they are digested, they are removed from the body. So digestion, removal from the body. All right, so basically that's that. Let's look at digestive system in animals briefly. Now, the digestive system varies slightly depending on whether animals are monogastric or ruminants. When we talk about monogastric animals, mono means one. Then anytime you hear gastro or gastric in biology, is related to the stomach. So monogastric means one stomach. So digestion varies depending on if the animal have one stomach or the animal is a ruminant. Ruminant, herbivores. Ruminants have 4 compartment stomach. Now, for human beings, we have just one stomach. So we are monogastric. And our digestion, our mode of digestion starts from the mouth. That's ingestion. Then the mechanical digestion that happens in the mouth. We start chewing. Mechanical digestion. Then there's a chemical digestion also in the mouth, where the saliva, as the saliva mixes with the food, the salivary gland produces an enzyme called alpha salivary amylase. This alpha salivary amylase is also called ptyalin. So it's that you call it alpha salivary amylase or you call it ptyalin. Now, This enzyme now is produced in the mouth, and it is it starts the breakdown of food substance. That's chemical digestion. Now, absorption occurs mainly in the small intestine, and there's a question they normally ask here. That the question always states that there's a finger-like projection on the walls of your small intestine that helps in absorption. What is that finger-like projection called? That finger-like projection is called villi. Villi is a finger-like projection that aids absorption. All right. Now, it continues to large intestine, and I told you digestion starts on the mouth and ends in the small intestine. The undigested food moves to the large intestine, and digestion takes place through the anus. Okay, moving on. Let's look at digestion in ruminants. Now, examples, anytime you hear ruminants, your mind should run to herbivores like cow, like goat, like sheep. They have 4-compartment stomach, and the 4-compartment stomach include rumen, reticulum, omasum, abomasum. Those are the 4-compartment stomachs. Take note of this one very well. Rumen, reticulum, omasum, abomasum. Now, the stomach is divided into 4 compartments, and these 4 compartments are doing different things. Reticulum, there is fermentation by microbes, so microorganisms help in fermentation of food there. Then in the reticulum, there is summation of cord. You can just imagine goats can just be lying down, not eating, to now bring back what it ate some time ago and start to chew. That's regurgitation, bringing back the food from the stomach into the mouth now to rechew. That's regurgitation. And that's why if you are chewing your mouth, like if somebody will ask you, are you chewing cord? Now, formation of cord takes place in the reticulum. Then water absorption takes place in the omasum. Then abomasum is the true stomach, and this one acts like the normal stomach in human beings. So they normally ask this question, we are going to look at past questions at the end of this. They normally ask, what is the true stomach called for ruminants? The answer is abomasum. Now, let's look at rumination process. Now, the animal swallows the food, and the food is partially digested in the rumen, and it returns to the mouth. From the mouth now, remember the rumen now is the first part now. So as the animal swallows the food, it goes to the rumen and is partially digested. The animal now regurgitate, bring back the food again and rechew. That's it, chews the cord, then re-swallow it again for complete digestion to take place. All right, so that's that. Now this part is what you always see: nutrient deficiencies. All right, now nutrient deficiencies. We have protein, and the deficiency symptom for protein is what? Kwashiorkor. You always be asked. You see it a lot in exam. Deficiency of vitamin C cause what? Scurvy. Deficiency of vitamin D cause rickets. Take notes, be writing. Deficiency of iron causes anemia. Deficiency of iodine causes goiter. The one you see, the length becomes swollen. That's deficiency of iodine, causes goiter. Deficiency of vitamin A causes night blindness. All right. Now, quickly, let's look at feeding in lower animals. In amoeba uses pseudopodia to engulf food. That is phagocytosis. Anytime you hear pseudo means false, not true. Pseudopodia means phosphate. Pseudopodia means phosphate or falsehood. Now, what amoeba do is to engulf the food. Use the phosphate now to engulf food. And Hydra use tentacles to trap prey. Earthworm feeds on soil humus. That's that. Now, a balanced diet. A balanced diet is a diet that contains all the food nutrients in the right proportion for healthy living. A balanced diet does not mean you eat rice this morning, in the afternoon you eat beans, in the night you eat yam. We are looking at diet that contains all the food nutrients, all the classes of food in the right proportion for healthy living. All right, let's look at past questions, JAMB and WAEC past questions, so you know what to expect. JAMB 2019. Kwashiorkor results from deficiency of what? The answer is what? The answer is protein. So deficiency of protein causes kwashiorkor. Next question. Which of the following animals is a ruminant? That's JAMB 2020. The answer there is sheep. Sheep is a ruminant. JAMB 2021. The part of the ruminant stomach where cord is formed is the dash. The answer is what? Reticulum. Rumen is the first stomach. Abomasum is the true stomach. Omasum is there. Reticulum is where cord is formed. Right? JAMB 2016. Which of the following is not a function of protein? A says growth, B says repair of worn out tissues, C says storage of energy, D says production of enzymes. The answer is C, storage of energy. Protein is not involved in storage of energy. What is majorly involved in storage of energy is lipids. Carbohydrate generates energy, but the major function of lipids is energy storage. Now, JAMB 2022. The form of feeding in amoeba is what? Is it pinocytosis? Is it phagocytosis? Is it holozoic? Is it saprophytic? The answer is B, phagocytosis. Remember I said they use the pseudopodium to engulf food. The process called phagocytosis. Alright, next one. Basically, that's that for today. If you've not subscribed to my channel, click on the subscribe button because every day I drop lessons. And if you are not on our JAMB WhatsApp group, you are missing a lot. DM me. My number is showing on the screen. Just chat me up on WhatsApp and I'm going to add you up. Alright, we are stopping here for today. We'll continue tomorrow. See you in my next video. If you're not subscribed, this might be the last time you're seeing me. So click on the subscribe button, like this video, and share. So that if you subscribe, once I post a video, YouTube will notify you that I've posted a video. Go and watch. But if you don't subscribe, this might be the last time you're watching me. Subscribe and see you in the next video. My name is Excellent Simplified.